Can you make a noise for me? Just so I know you're here.
Did you hear a voice then?
I heard something. Was that you?
I wasn't really even leaning back on it. It just suddenly, the chair moved backwards, noticeably. Was he a good teacher? Did he treat you fairly?
Hey guys, something's moving.
It is not customary that you stand up when your teacher enters the room.
This chair is making funny, weird noises. I'm not being funny.
There's some knocking coming from that chair.
Maybe you are here because this was your favourite place, saving all those children.
Okay, this is the first session in the Ragged School. We're in the basement of the building.
That chair just moved.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Poison. Manufactured record. Yes, sir. Go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. It's like a light is in my face, but I can't fall for you. I close my eyes and drift away. I've overdosed on you. Cause then you wake up dead one day.
The old Ragged School Museum. The two canal-side warehouses were built in 1872 and were originally used to store lime juice and other provisions. Dr. Thomas John Bernardo had only been in London for a few months when cholera swept through the East End of the capital. He cared and prayed for his sick and dying neighbours, which opened his eyes to the poverty all around him. In 1867, Bernardo studied at the London Hospital and taught in ragged schools. His aim was to go to China to be a medical missionary. In 1868, he opened his own organisation called the East End Juvenile Mission. By 1870, Dr. Bernardo was so busy with his work in the East End that he completely abandoned his plan to go to China and gave up his studies at the London Hospital. Bernardo then rented the two warehouses in 1876 for £200 and converted them into schools. There was a classroom on every floor, and the basement became the playground. There were classes for boys, girls and infants with an average attendance of 276. The lessons were the same as in government schools. Classes concentrated in reading, writing, arithmetic, and religion. There were also evening classes for older children in work. By 1879, it was the largest ragged school in London, with a free education for the poor local children, which also provided breakfast, dinner, and help towards their first job. By 1888 alone, a total of over 62,000 free meals were served, consisting of bread and cocoa for breakfast and lentil or pea soup for dinner. And by 1896 there were over 1,000 children attending the day schools, 2,460 attending the Sunday school. Also, during the year of 1888, a serial killer was on the streets, Jack the Ripper. 5 women were brutally murdered, and Dr. Bernardo was a suspect and interviewed by the police. But he was released after questioning, as he did not fit the description of the murderer. Jack the Ripper was never identified, and to this day there are many theories and speculation on who the killer really was. In 1908, the local council found the warehouses unsuitable for the education of the children, and the schools were shut down. The pupils then went to the local schools, which were then free to attend. In his career, Dr. Bernardo raised over £3 million. Dr. Thomas John Bernardo died on the 19th of September 1905 from angina and was buried in front of Carne's house in Essex. The warehouses were due to be demolished due to planned expansion of the area, but the Ragged School Museum Trust was formed in 1983 to protect the buildings and to use them as a museum to highlight the ragged schools, the children that attended them, and the social history of the East End of London. The reports of this location are of poltergeist activity. A sinister shadow figure wanders the floors, banging and noises coming from the hallways. Voices of the children are frequently heard throughout the building. As Mark is unable to attend this investigation, Phil contacts Peter, who is now a part-time investigator with our team. We have our static night vision cameras in place. Static Cam 1 is on the second floor classroom. Static Cam 2 is located within the hoist area. Static Cam 3 is positioned on the first floor classroom. And Static Cam 4 is in the basement area. We start the investigation in the basement area, which was once the play area for the children.
Okay, this is the first session in the Ragged School. We're in the basement of the building.
Within seconds of starting the investigation, we've received 3 EVPs. The first is a child's voice saying playroom, followed by another voice saying who's that, and then a deep man's voice is heard yet again saying playroom. Here is the audio taken from Phil's digital recorder.
Okay, this is the first session in the ragged school. We're in the basement of the building. Okay, this is the first session in the ragged school. We're in the basement of the building. Now, this area we're in was used as the school play area, I suppose. It's not that big, but the children were allowed to come down here and perhaps have some free time. Maybe they ate down here, I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to ask any spirits which remain here to make themselves known and talk to me now. So, can I ask your name, please? Were you a child at this school? Do you remember Dr. Bernardo? Sounded like there was movement from over there. Now, Dr. Bernardo's legacy is still with us today. What he set up and what he did has helped many children, and is still helping children today. And it'd be really interesting to speak to somebody who either worked with him or was a pupil here. Was he a good teacher? Did he treat you fairly?
Hey guys, something's moving. Pete, all your back went black. Something was moving. It was in between me and you. I think it was really quick. A black shadow moves between Peter and I, and it is captured on my camera. Here is the footage again, followed by the footage in slow motion.
Was he a good teacher? Did he treat you fairly?
Hey guys, something's moving.
If you're walking past, can you let me know that you can hear my voice? Even if you don't want to talk to me, just let me know. Perhaps bang something. Knock a chair. Was it noisy down here with all the children?
Heard some bang. I thought it was to my right. I'm not sure though, Phil.
It sounded like it came from over that side. Was it noisy down here with all the children? Was it noisy down here with all the children? Some knocking coming, wasn't there?
Sound like footsteps.
It did sound like footsteps. Come over, that's it. Come over here. Come over and take my hand. Walk towards me. I can hear you walking. I'm right over, honestly. There's no harm.
Where's it coming from?
Near you.
From near you.
What, behind me?
Very close to you. That's it. Keep coming this way. Can you show yourselves to us? Is that something you can do? I can hear you walking.
Something or someone is in the room with us. We all hear someone walking around, and as Phil asks for whatever it is to show themselves to us, the walking gets louder. Here is the audio taken from Phil's digital recorder with enhancements.
Can you show yourselves to us? Is that something you can do? I can hear you walking.
We now make our way further into the basement area. We place a K2 meter which has a built-in alarm and also a REM pod on the seat of an old child's bike.
Is there anybody here with us? Don't be frightened. We just want to talk. If you can see this red light that I'm holding, come closer to it. If you can, speak into it. Tell me your name. Can you make a noise for me? Just so I know you're here.
Did you hear a voice then?
I heard something. Was that you?
Peter and Phil both hear a child's voice respond, but the voice is very faint. Here is the child's voice as best as we can enhance it.
Can you make a noise for me? Just so I know you're here.
Did you hear a voice then?
I heard something. Was that you? Can you make a noise for me? Just so I know you're here.
Did you hear a voice then?
I heard something. Was that you?
Whoa.
You alright?
Matt, Phil?
My chair moved, but I don't know why.
Did you move this chair?
It was a bit bizarre.
Did it just shift down when you were sitting on it?
It moved backwards. Do you hear it creak then?
Yeah. Are you playing with this chair?
I'll sit back in it.
Yeah. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Well, it was because it was on perfectly flat ground, and it just. I wasn't really even leaning back on it. It just suddenly the chair moved backwards noticeably. Bizarre.
In front of me, you can see a little trike. Do you want to come play on that?
This chair is making funny, weird noises. I'm not being funny.
I heard some knocking coming from that chair. You're sitting still, I can see you.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, Phil feels movement on the chair that he is sitting on, and then sounds are heard coming from the chair.
This chair is making funny, weird noises. I'm not being funny.
I heard some knocking coming from that chair. You're sitting still, I can see you.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You have a sit in it, Peter.
You can sit with me if you like. Just next to me. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? How old are you? Are you a child or an adult? Was that you?
It sounds as if someone's sitting in that chair.
Didn't that? The wooden one.
Yeah.
Have a look around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was this the chair, the wooden one, which was creaking a bit?
Yeah.
Is there anybody sitting in this chair?
Move the chair. Move the chair.
You didn't say which chair.
That chair just moved.
Which one? This one?
I don't know. One of the chairs moved behind me. I ask for the chair to move, and a chair behind me moves. Although we do not capture it on camera, you can hear the noise of the chair as it is dragged along the ground.
You didn't say which chair.
That chair just moved.
You didn't say which chair.
That chair just moved. So we know that you're here. You've been tapping on the chairs. You've pulled a chair when Phil was sitting on it. And you moved the chair behind me. Now I've got another recorder in my hand, this one here, that also has a red light. And it will pick up your voice more easy because it's set on a different frequency. So can you please speak into one of these red lights and tell us your name, and if you're a boy, a girl, or maybe a teacher. Maybe you are Dr. Bernardo. Maybe you are here because this was your favourite place, saving all those children. Is the doctor here? There was another tap on that chair.
I heard it.
Can you tap on the chair again, please? A child's voice is captured on my digital recorder, responding to me, but we cannot decipher what is being said. Here is the audio with enhancements. Can you tap on the chair again, please? Can you tap on the chair again, please? We leave the basement and place a static cam covering the area. We go to the first floor classroom where Phil will take the role as a teacher to try and get the spirits to interact. We have also placed some trigger objects around the classroom. Several balls have been put onto the desks which will light up if they are touched. A toy car which has sensors built in and will move if anything reaches out to play with it. And a toy bear which will turn from red to green if it detects a change in the electromagnetic field around it.
It is not customary that you stand up when your teacher enters the room. You, boy. What's your name, boy?
Peter.
Well, stand up when I enter the room. Now sit down, the pair of you. Right. My name's Bradshaw, but you will refer to me as Sir. And first thing I'll do is the register. Starting off with Bradshaw.
Sir.
Young.
Sir.
Who else is here? Come on, boy. I don't recognise you. Tell me your name. Right, sit down. Okay. Now here at this school, we would normally teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. We would teach you about money. We would teach you about numbers. But today, we're going to look at something else. We're going to look at the future. Now, is that you?
No.
That's right. I said the future.
That was right in my ear. It was like someone is sitting in that desk there.